Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel, we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It's important to know these areas before buying any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. Also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. Also, I provided a link for Webull and Robinhood. You can use the link for Webull to start an account and get 2 free stocks. You could use the link for Robinhood to start an account and get 1 free stock. Also, just to let you know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to your recommendation. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so you don't miss any videos. Okay, so let's get into the stock we're taking a look at today. Today we're looking at General Motors. Currently it's trading at $51.08. It's up 48 cents on the day. That's 0.96%. It's up. Today is February 26, 2021. It's Friday, and there's been a lot of volatility in the week, a lot of selling that's been going on in the market because of the bond yields. So we're going to be mapping out the support and resistance for this one, and I'm going to be starting at the bottom of this chart when in April of 2020, when COVID happened. I'm going to find a base for my chart, and it looks like I can find that around $20. So I'm just going to mark that off on my chart at $20 as my base, and I'm going to be moving up from there. Looks like the first area of resistance after it broke through $20 after COVID is $25. It hit some resistance there, so I'm going to mark that off on my chart. Now our next area of resistance, and it looks like it used to be our support before COVID, was $35. As you could see right here. Whoops, let me move that down here. You could see right here it was support before COVID hit, and then COVID happened and it dropped down all the way down to our $20 support down here. So right here is where our next area of resistance is after COVID. You could see it couldn't break through it after it broke through our 25 resistance. It had a little trouble for a couple months until it finally broke through it here, but it was support before COVID, so I'm going to mark that off on my chart. Okay, now looking before COVID happened, it looks like we had a resistance point of $40 right here, and later that looks like it became a support over here afterwards around January of 2021. So I'm going to mark that off right here, and that's going to come in handy right over here on our chart. So I'm making sure to mark that off right now. And before we move on to after COVID happened, I want to make sure I point out on our chart here, you could see the dividends right here. They had a 38-cent dividend per share right here, here, here. And then it looks like it stopped after March of 2020. And that was because when COVID happened, they actually temporarily suspended their dividend in March, and they haven't resumed their dividend ever since. As you can see on the chart, they haven't been paying their dividend ever since then. And that's because of COVID. They just haven't started paying that dividend back to their investors. So that's another thing that you need to look at on this chart. You could see the dividend stopped here, and it hasn't resumed ever since. So they haven't really talked about when they're going to start paying that back to their investors yet. So that's something to look at on this chart too, also, before we move on with our support and resistance. Okay, so the next area we're looking at over here is around November of 2020, where they had a good earnings report, and the price ran up through our $40 resistance, and it hit a new resistance point of 45. So we're going to mark that off on our chart, and now our $40 resistance becomes support. Like I said over here, it was resistance at this point before COVID, and now it became support in this area after COVID in 2021. At the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, it is support. Okay, so at the beginning of 2021, you saw a drop in price over here, and then you saw a pretty big run up in price right here. And this is because of an announcement that they made that they were investing a lot of money into the EV space. They announced that they were going to invest $27 billion by 2025 into their EV space. So that's why you saw this huge run up in price right here. And it ultimately hit a high of 57.05. It looks like a double top on our chart right here. So we're going to mark $57 as our high of the chart, our high resistance point. And the last thing we need to do is find our final resistance coming off of our high of the chart. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull this over and zoom in here on our recent action that's been going on here. And I'm going to grab my line right here. And it looks like you saw it hit that high up here at 57, bounce down here, hit a support, and it came back, tested that high again. And now with this recent sell-off in this past couple weeks, it's come down, hit this support again, and it looks like it's held up on this support. So I think we're pretty safe to say that $50 right here is a pretty good support for this one. So let me just move that up a little bit to 50, as close as I can there. And it looks like $50 held up as a support through the sell-off that's been happening this past week. So I think we're pretty good with $50 as a pretty good support right now. So the way I would trade this at the current moment, you saw it hit that high twice, and it bounced down and hit the support twice. So as you could see right now, it's really close to that support presently. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, it's really close to the support. It's in a pretty good buying area right now. It's definitely in a buy zone, and I'd be looking to buy this right now, and I'd probably be looking to ride that all the way back up to that $55 to $57 area and sell, or to see if it could break through that. Or if it wants to trade sideways for a while, you have that area between 50 and 57 to trade it. Once it gets close to 50, you buy, and once it gets closer to the 55 to 57 area, you sell. That's the way you trade that right now. Okay, so for my price prediction for this one, I think with General Motors moving into more of the EV space, I think this company is poised to do very well over the next 5 to 10 years. And I think with them, they have a very good chance to keep pace with the competitors as long as they execute on their recent promises. Their earnings are expected to grow about 8% annually over the next 3 years. And they also have implemented a plan to invest $7 billion in electric and autonomous vehicles this year, and $27 billion, like I said earlier in the video, by 2025. So they also have a plan to roll out 30 new electric vehicles by then. So like I said, it's all going to be about execution for them in the next coming years, and I think if they do that, they're going to be fine. So, my price prediction is going to be $70 by the end of the year, and I think if everything goes well, they shouldn't have a problem hitting that. They've already hit highs of $57, almost $60. So I think they should have no problem hitting that $70 target by the end of the year. And that's my video on General Motors. If you guys liked it, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss any videos. And we'll see you next time on Chart Stoppers.